Hello there, my name is Albert. I'm right here at my apiary site, and today I'm going to be doing some hive inspections. I haven't been to this apiary site in ages. I know my hands have been tied up with a bunch of other things, but today I'm going to take advantage of the weather. It's absolutely beautiful, the sun is up, and although it's slightly windy, but the bees are out doing their business, collecting nectar and pollen. Without further ado, let me get my smoker ready and come along. I'll show you guys some of the tools and techniques that we use here to get ahead. Alright, this is hive number 1. So the configuration here is fairly simple. We have a brood nest with 10 frames, and then I added the honey super a little bit later, and I picked up that they were running out of space, so I decided to actually add a honey super for them. But I doubt that they've built so much into that honey super, so I'm really excited to see what I can find out. Here in the Dago we don't have nectar flow at the moment, but though there is a lot of forage that's coming in now because of the rains that just kicked in like recently. So that's one of my hives. Yeah, it's doing really quite well. I'm going to go show you guys the other hive. Okay, this is my second hive. Like I said, it's been here for about a year, and we have harvested this hive and we've collected, I think, 1 honey super off it. They had a lot of honey this year. They also split. The colony is now trying to rebuild itself again. So I'm really quite excited to see what are we going to find out in here. But a very strong colony, a very good laying queen. The queen has been really doing really well. We also use the hive marker technology. So you can get these tools on our website and we ship it directly to you. Also same configuration. I have 10 frames in the brood box. And then of the 10 frames that we have in the brood box, most of them they're drawn and they have either brood or honey. And then I gave them a honey super some time ago, 2 months ago, just to be cautious that they might split if they're running out of space. So I'm really quite excited with what we're going to find out when we open this hive. So I'm going to go to the next one. This one is also a very strong colony. I've been with them for about a year as well. Also the configuration is the same. 10 brood frames at the bottom, and then we also have a hive marker at the top. We have a sensor inside all the box. They have our sensor technology which actually tracks how the hives are doing. We use that as the basis to try and measure the performance of the hive. Yeah, I can see the bees fanning on the entrance here. So bees communicate via pheromones, and they usually fan those pheromones in the air for the other bees to pick it up, and that's how they communicate. I see a lot of bees in the entrance, but today the weather is a little bit good. Yeah, that's a good thing. Alright, let's see. So here is pine needles. I use pine needles for my smoker. They're really quite good. I don't have any issues with these. So why do we smoke bees? It just makes them calm, and obviously assume that there's a fire going on, and their instinct is to try and drink as much honey as possible, and they get sluggish and they don't bother you while you're doing your inspection. So that's kind of the trick behind it. Useful tools that I use for my inspection. This one is a frame holder. Really kind of cool tool to have. I'll put it there, and then I have a frame clamp frames, and then I can pull the frames out of the brood nest because sometimes they're really quite tight to pull off. So I use this to pull the frames off, and that also can be quite handy. I'm gonna get my gloves on. Obviously don't want to get stung in the hands. My smoker was about to die. I'm gonna bring it back again. So this hive is really good. This process is called festooning. So what they do is that they all form a cluster and hold on to one another and build combs. So that's how bees actually build combs. Configuration of 10 brood frames. I'll take my camera quickly, I'll show you guys. And we obviously use the Hive sensor. So the Hive sensor in this case helps us understand what is the brood dynamics in here. So we know what is the temperature, what is the humidity of the hive. And that story tells us a lot more how strong that colony is and how capable is it to manage the winter time. These bees are not happy with me here, but that's okay. So I'm gonna do a little bit some more inspections in here, see what's going on. I'm gonna just give them a puff of smoke like that, and then I'll use my Hive too to kind of, get that frame out, the very first frame out, and I'll put this tool right here to help me hold the frames on the hive, on the side of the hive. That helps me a lot. I'll put the honey super on the side, give them a puff of smoke. Here's one of the frames I have here, so look at that. That's all honey. So I'm gonna put this frame right here on the holder. I think I don't have space yet, so I need more space. I'm just gonna push this thing up a little bit. Frame just behind here. So I'll check the next frame. Heavy with honey. This is all honey. So if you want to see, that is honey. I would love to test that. But anyway, they have enough storage to help themselves during the time when we don't have nectar here. So this hive is actually excellent. It's doing really well. Go to the next one. Okay, so look at that. This is basically what we want. We want the queen to lay. Look at this laying pattern. I mean, this queen is just doing it right, Those are the kind of genetics that we're interested in. And right here, of these 4 hives, I've got the more or less similar queen genetics. They're good layers. They will fill up this box quickly, and they're also good honey producers. Same thing, look at this on the other side. What you see is really good laying pattern. I mean, look at that. That queen is absolutely amazing. This is basically what we want. But how did we get here? I think the biggest advantage that we have the tools, we have the technologies to track the hive and see what needs to happen for that particular hive to succeed. And we put a lot of effort and emphasis on that. Use all the available tools that you can get to get your brood nest to perform like this. First of all, foremost, you want the genetics. You want the best genetics for your bees, and that's basically what you're looking for. And this laying pattern, within a week or so, all these bees will be out and they'll form part of the colony. That will help to collect as much nectar as possible this springtime for the bees to survive. This is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna put it back. So when you're working with bees, just make sure you're just as gentle as possible. So let's see the next frame. So be as gentle as possible and don't squash any bees. Okay, there we go. Also, great laying pattern. I mean, the bees are just like everywhere. We can look at this. These bees have already hatched, and the empty spaces, there's a lot of eggs in there. You're gonna see there's a lot of. So basically this is what you want. So you want the hive to be very strong and the right genetics for the queen, and the queen will be able to lay as many workers as possible. And yeah, so I'm really quite excited what this hive is going to bring for us in this coming year. And with the tools and techniques that we use here at our farm, it's been really quite helpful. So the brood nest is pretty much full. These guys will start building onto the top of the hive and see how things go there. So yeah, but basically this is what you want as a beekeeper. You obviously want the bees to do well with Hive Pulse. It's been really quite helpful to get the best out of our hives. I will be tracking these hives as we go on this year, and I'll keep you guys posted on how things are going on our apiary site here with these strong colonies that we have. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, the bees are quite defensive. They're not really happy with me here, so I'm gonna try and close everything and let them be, you know.